Fifth grade, chapter 7, review. Concepts and skills. When you multiply 3 1/4 by a number greater than 1, how does the product compare to 3 1/4? So what is the product or the answer going to be, guys?
Greater than.
Okay. The product will be greater than what?
3 1/4.
3 1/4, because any factor greater than 1 will become larger. Use a model to solve 2/3 times 6. So it says a model. And you guys can draw a model if you like, but if you also don't want to do that, then you guys can just work it out. Okay? But let's say that we were going to draw a model. How many holes am I going to draw? 3, right? So would I draw 3? I would draw 6. How many pieces would I break each one of those into? Thirds. And how many of each one of those would I color in? So how many total pieces did I color in, guys? 12. 12. And then we have 12, and then we keep our denominator the same, right? So how many times does 3 go into 12?
4 times.
4 times. So we drew the model there, but if I was going to go ahead and just work out the problems, this is going to be 3 7 times 14 over 1. So can I simplify before I begin? Yes. 7 goes into 7 once. 7 goes into 14. 3 times 2 equals? So 6 over 1, which equals 6. 5/8 times 24. What can I go ahead and make that 24? 24 over 1. Can I simplify before I begin? Yes. 8 goes into 8. 8 goes into 24. 15 times 5 times 3 is over 1, which equals. Find the product, write the product in simplest form. So 3/5 times 8. So these they want you to go ahead and work out, right? Or if you needed to, once again, you could draw your picture, right? But which way would you guys like to do it?
Over 1.
Okay, so go ahead and work it out. So if I go ahead and put this over 1, can I simplify before I begin?
No.
All right. So 3/5 times, or 3 times 8 is 24. 5 times 1 is, which is, how many times does 5 go into 20 without going over? 4 times. 4 minus 20 is 4/5. Do I need to simplify anymore?
No.
No. This would become 1/4 times what?
10 over 1.
10 over 1. Can I simplify before I begin?
No.
Yes. What goes into both 4 and 10?
2.
2. 2 goes into 4
Twice.
twice. 2 goes into 10.
5 times.
So 5 times 1 is,
5.
2 times 1 is,
2.
how many times does 2 go into 5?
2 times.
2 times. 2 times 2 is 4. 5 minus 4 is 1. We keep our same denominator. Can I simplify anymore?
No.
No. What does this become? 5/7 times.
15 over 1.
Can I simplify before I begin?
No.
What is 5 times 15? 75 over 7. How many times does 7 go into 75 without going over 10? 10 times. What do I have left over?
5 sevens.
5 7. Do I need to simplify anymore?
No.
No. Okay. 5 6 times 2/3. Can I simplify before I begin?
Yes.
Yes. What goes into 2 and 6?
2.
2 goes into 2
Once.
once. 2 goes into 6.
3 times.
5 times 1 is.
5.
3 times 3 is.
9.
Can I simplify any more?
No.
So my answer is
5 times.
1/5 times 5/7. Can I simplify before I begin?
Yes.
Yes. What can I simplify?
5 to 5.
So basically I can get rid of them and put a
1.
1, replace them with a 1. 1 times 1 is
1.
1. 1 times 7 is,
7.
can I simplify any more?
No.
3/8 times 1/6. Can I simplify before I begin?
Yes.
Yes. So the 3 and the 6, what goes into both?
3.
3. 3 goes into 3
Once.
once. 3 goes into 6.
Twice.
1 times 1 is,
1.
8 times 2 is,
16.
can I simplify any more?
No.
No. Complete the statement with equal to, greater than, or less than. 7/8 times 6/6 will be something of 7/8. So what are the same things in both of those? On both sides? 7/8. So we're going to be looking at,
6.6.
which is also equivalent to
1.
so it will be
Equal to.
equal to. Because if it's less than 1, it will be less than. If it's 1, it's equal to. If it's greater than 1, it will be greater than. Half times 8/9 will be something of 8/9. So what's the same on both sides? 8/9. So what are we going to be looking at?
1/2.
1/2. So will it be greater than, less than, or equal to?
Less than.
Less than. Constructed response 19. Tasha plans to tile the floor in her room with square tiles that are 1/4 foot long. Will she use more or fewer tiles if she is only able to purchase square tiles that are 1/3 foot long? Explain. Fewer tiles because a 1/4 by 1/4 tile would only cover 1/16 square foot. A 1 by 1/3 tiles would cover 1/9 square foot. Performance task. For a bake sale, Violet wants to use the recipe at the right. Letter A. If she wants to double the recipe, how much flour will she need? So we took 2 3/4 times 2, which equals, we converted 2 3/4 to an improper fraction of 11/4 times 2/1. We simplified before we began because 2 could go into 2 once, 2 could go into 4 twice. So 11 times 1 was 11, and 2 times 1 was 2. So we got 11/2, which also is equivalent to 5½ cups. Letter B. Baxter wants to make 1½ times the recipe. Will he need more or less sugar than Violet needs if she doubles the recipe? Explain. He will need less sugar than her because 1½ is less than 2. Letter C. As shown, the recipe makes 60 cookies. Jorge wants to bring 150 cookies. How much flour will he need to make 150 cookies? Explain how you got your answer. Hint, what can you multiply 60 by to get 150? We know that he will need to make 2½ batches because 60 times 2 equals 120. 150 minus 120 equals 30, which is half a batch. So we would take 2½ times 2 3/4, which was the original amount of sugar in the first recipe, which we converted to 5 halves times 11/4, which equals 55/8, and then simplified that to get 6 7/8 cups of flour.